Hi and welcome to Beyond the Racing Line, a Formula 1 podcast by fans, for fans. The Austrian Grand Prix has been ran and won by Mr. George Russell. It was a comeback that he needed. It was a great race. Well, we'll discuss whether it was a great race, but I thought it was a great race. And yeah, there was plenty of talking points which we're going to get into. We're going to have all the goodies to get through. And yeah, look forward to getting into it. I'm joined by Shane Freer. Hello, Shane.
How you going, Roger?
Happy holidays.
Yes, it is holidays. It's lovely, isn't it?
And Tristan Pocock.
Hello, mates.
Howdy.
Hi, boys.
Good to be in holiday mode.
Yeah, it's middle of the afternoon.
Recording in the afternoon
session.
How unusual.
Sun's out for the first time today.
I think we've talked about this, but back in the early days of the pod, for those people who weren't around in the early days of the pod, we used to record in weird and wonderful places, didn't we? All over the joint.
Yep.
We recorded in the park a few times.
To the park? Okay, yeah.
I reckon we've recorded in a pub.
Yeah.
I reckon we've recorded... I used to record in the car a bit.
Yeah. Early days, because we needed a quiet space.
Yep, so
we
no.
did that too.
Yep, but anyway, it's very unusual to be not in our prime time,
regular time slot.
End of the day when everything's finished. But
won't be getting
it's
home.
Nice.
Won't be getting home at 11 o'clock tonight.
No, that's right. That's right. Did you enjoy the Austrian Grand Prix, Shane?
Loved it.
It was a beauty, wasn't it?
It was good.
Have you loved it enough that you've forgiven Formula 1 for making these cars a little bit remote control?
I don't know about that, but no,
Not
look,
quite there yet.
It was some good racing, and I did actually, when I was watching it, thinking, no, forget about this. Yeah, forget about the sleepy clipping or whatever.
Yeah,
running out of battery. But yeah, and you saw that in one of the overtakes. Actually, the commentator called it. Oh, the lights on. He's got none.
Yeah, it was really obvious, wasn't it?
And
I think that was a
it's on Leclerc.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
But no, I did enjoy it.
It made it really interesting though, that lap, didn't it?
Mm.
Because it was just like, you can't defend. What next?
And Oscar had a better race, so that made me a lot happier.
That makes a difference, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Tristan, you enjoy it?
Oh, brilliant.
Give me a race ranking.
Honestly, it'd probably be 10.
Oh, far out.
Like, it really would.
So what if there was a much better race?
It had everything. Yeah, we can have a better one. No, it was terrific. It was yesterday. I watched it again. I very rarely watch the next morning because you generally get a feel, or I might get 10 laps in and think, I know what's going on from here. But it was just really great racing at the front too. You know how we get those midfield races where it's just everyone's battling for 11th, 12th, 8th or 9th, and then you've got runaway. It was kind of like first to 8th, really, in a sense.
Yep.
And all positions were up for grabs for multiple times across the race. So I thought it was terrific. It was really, really, really good. And then you had Kimi on the charge at the end. You had Max back up front. You had Lewis v Max. You had George. Was he going to hang on? Was he not? The McLaren boys were doing pretty well. And then you sort of had the extra drama of Charles. Well, I'm not sure Charles knew what he was doing, but... And then Liam Lawson was just hanging around, and Hadjar was good, so...
Boys, just so you know,
I'm
on fire, right?
Yeah, well...
I want you to know I'm on fire.
Positive.
Okay, I'm on fire.
Everyone
Let's keep moving
on. Fire.
No, he was on fire.
I don't know how he was on fire, and he kept going.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've never known anything like it. Liam Lawson was on fire, but didn't affect him anyway.
Didn't worry about it.
I'm still on fire. I'm still on fire.
Cadillac were very on fire, and that did affect them.
Well, different fire. Yeah, no, it was a goodie. 9 was the right answer. It's bad luck about the 10.
Yeah, 9's probably right.
10 was correct.
Yeah, but it was a beauty. We've seen some really nice races from proper Grand Prix racing this year, haven't we?
We have.
And we probably need to start paying a little bit of attention to how well these regulations are starting to play out. Is there room for tweaks and for adjustments? Absolutely, but yeah, they seem to have got it right, and racing is fun again, which is magnificent. Tell me, opening question, before we get into anything, what's your biggest annoyance? What's your pet peeve? Tristan, you got one?
Oh, just in life in general.
Yeah, just a pet peeve.
Sorry.
What's a pet peeve?
Slow people.
Slow people. Tell me more.
Slow.
Tell me more.
Just
Where?
people, just anywhere. It's like they're doing something, driving at the
patience, have you?
At the supermarket. I do have a little bit of patience.
No, clearly
but
not.
just like, when you're at the supermarket and you're just taking forever, or if you're driving and you're just being like really slow.
For no reason.
If I'm waiting for a coffee and I'm the only person there.
Yep.
And it's taken forever. And then my child. And just anyone that is just slow. Just, it annoys me. it's okay to be slow, but not that. Not that.
Not when it
slow.
affects other people.
Not when it affects.
Yeah.
I reckon I waited.
You do sound like Shane a little bit.
I waited about what felt like 8 hours for my small version of myself to put shoes on this morning. And I'm like, get out. Like, put them on and get out. And I try not to get grumpy. And then, you get a coffee. And you just went, well, what's the hold up? I'm the only person here.
Mine last night was at the Bowser waiting because the person was in there deciding what drink they were going to get. And you can't move forward.
Yeah, you should know already when you're going in. Like, what are you getting? That's why you're there. Shopping. Yeah, no.
God, imagine you two in the olden days when things were slow.
Don't dawdle on this opening question.
You got a pet peeve, Shane?
I have lots. I've told you I'd love to do a podcast on things that annoy me.
This is what inspired the opening question.
This is a whole episode.
Okay. God, it would be an annoying pod, wouldn't it?
It would be a very annoying pod. I actually started writing a book on all the things that annoyed me.
Yep.
And anyway,
what's your number one?
One of my top ones is late. People being late, and especially my family.
Yep.
So we'll be going to Melbourne, and we'll have announced a time. This is the time we're leaving, and my wife will decide to vacuum the floor 5 minutes before we're going to go.
Yes.
It's like, are you kidding me? No one's coming here. And my son is always just pushing it. He's always on the edge, running around, and you'll often forget things. And so as he's pushing it, he's late, and he's on his phone. It's like, hurry up. I said we'll leave it this time, so it gets me grumpy.
I understand it every now and then. It's people who
exactly. I'm not saying
late.
Continually
there's
late.
moments,
which is my son is continually late.
Yep. My pet peeve, a bit of a weird one. If you go through the car wash and you drive through and your car's still dirty, I can't get over how that can still happen. Tara's car was washed beautifully the other day.
What kind of car was she going through?
One of the automatic ones.
Oh.
And I was like,
It was one of those college ones.
I was going to say.
That was like bikini babes.
Yeah.
You're driving off.
I've got to go back, Tara. It's not done. It's not done.
It's still dirty.
She had it washed because we had some panel beating done on it because we had a roo. And it was washed, and it was looking great, and then I drove past the car, and it got splashed by mud. I was like, I'm going to get on top of this. I'm going to stay on top of it. So I took it through, and it was still filthy. I was like, okay, I understand how I've just paid $18, and it hasn't worked.
I was going to say, it wouldn't have made sense if you hand wash it.
No, that'd be on me. That would be on me. The automatic car wash where you drive through. So
I haven't used one.
I don't use the autos. No, I hand wash it all the time.
Really?
All the time, yeah.
Oh, see, the one down here used to be really good.
I won't use the brush,
owners, and it's terrible.
Well, and my lovely wife just got herself a new car, and I questioned her going out in the rain today.
How was it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not allowed to drive it. So anyway, but no, I probably wouldn't even use... I used the car washing areas and the bays and that with the older cars, but new cars I like just doing by hand.
Yeah.
Second opening question.
Yeah.
So this is a continuing question.
Yeah.
Not opening. Is the Austrian Grand Prix the prettiest Grand Prix on the calendar at the moment?
Ooh.
I'm still Monaco.
No.
I mean,
prettiest Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Tell me if prettier one.
Spa. And maybe Hungary as well. I like the real sort of hilly people on the hills, no grandstand sort of feel of Hungary. It's a real fan favourite of mine.
Yeah, right.
And Spa is much more picturesque.
Do you think? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I like Spa.
Austria's right up there.
There's some nice spots.
I wouldn't say it's the absolute handstand in front of everyone.
Yeah. Feels like you just disagreed for the sake of disagreeing.
No, really.
Monaco's Different. At least Monaco has
sort
a
of
different pretty. Yep, I get
pretty.
that.
But you could go to Austria and just sit there and look at the hills around the place.
Pretty. Yeah, Tara walked in halfway through, been watching it this week, and she's like, "Where is this? This is gorgeous." I was like, "Yeah, this is." And she goes, "Yeah, I want to go to a Grand Prix race here." I said, "I don't really want you to go to a Grand Prix race, to be honest with you. You'd be annoying there." But yeah, it was. It is just a great spot to go, and I'd love to sit there and just watch Formula One and watch the cars go around. It seems like nearly the perfect venue for that, I reckon.
And there's always a couple of good corners there.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic racetrack. I don't remember they mentioned the old track and where the old track used to extend out. I don't remember ever seeing that. I don't think I realised. I knew they used to race there. I knew they changed the layout, but I didn't realise it was a much longer free-flowing track.
Yeah, I think they came to this new circuit about 96, 97.
Yep.
I think, yeah.
Yep, yeah. The little
the
footage I
older
saw was probably 70s. I would have thought, maybe 80s, but it certainly didn't look as good as this. So, but yeah, no, it is a ripping spot, and we generally get a really great race out of it, don't we?
We do.
Absolutely.
See a decent race. We saw George Russell take pole under was it like controversial circumstances? George's pole.
No.
I agree from George's point of view. He did everything he was supposed to do. The race the qualifying session should have gone to double wave yellows straight away. I don't think anyone can argue with that.
No, I think that was obvious, but George didn't do anything wrong. By the letter of the law.
Knew what he was doing,
Exactly.
George, and I liked that about that. But yeah, for me, I was very critical of the stewards and the race director in that moment.
Well,
there's a man in the wall and you haven't gone to double wave yellows. And George, the fact you can lift off, and once again, this isn't on George, this is on the regulations, the fact you can lift off and only lose a tenth, and that's enough of a lift to be safe.
They said 96 metres earlier he lifted.
That, for me, that's not... There needs to be changes in the regulations.
This is almost like a second example of where drivers have done the right thing and then the sport has sort of fallen away. We talked about Monaco and the reissuing of the podium to Gasly.
Yep.
And that how, Gasly hasn't done anything wrong, but, there's been
Apart
a
from
failure. There's been a
not going
failure at the sporting end. And so I guess this is like, not at the extremities of that, but it's just another example, isn't it? I kind of agree with you. They've probably flagged it incorrectly, but then George has done absolutely everything correctly by the rules. And
flagged it incorrectly, and what we expect of drivers under a yellow flag is also incorrect, and that's been abused over time.
Yep.
I'm with you. George absolutely did nothing wrong, knew the rules, did a great job. Kimi got found out a little bit. Mind you, I swear I saw a replay where Kimi saw double wave yellows partway through his lap, but obviously not.
It was really difficult with the light board because it was going green, yellow, green, yellow.
I think that was only on the TV screens though. I think that was to do with, I was reading about that. That was to do with like the frame per minute, frame per second set up,
which kind of makes sense because of obviously what the double yellow is.
But I like him. He just owned it and said, "Oh, I mucked up."
Yeah. But so he certainly pulled out of the bag there, and I mean, imagine the lap if he had have pushed all the way through the lap.
So I'm pretty sure he was up on Kimi anyway in that lap.
Yep.
But he had it. It was a brilliant lap.
Yep. And what we saw then is him go on and control a challenging race, really. I mean, he didn't have it all his own way. It sort of looked like he did when he was out in front. I don't know that he would have had the same speed if he was in amongst traffic. I think George very much benefited from being out front. It was a Mercedes in hot weather, Tristan, that got a win.
Oh yes, well, I'll wear that one.
It
was hot.
It was very hot.
It was very hot. What did you make of the ice vests? That you could absolutely wear the ice vest, but then if you chose not to wear it, you take a 5 kilo ballast penalty.
Yeah, it's good.
Isn't an ice vest 5 kilos in weight?
Yeah.
That was the thing that sort of shocked me with that. I thought, surely they don't wear 5 kilos.
I believe they're plugged in and they actually circulate around. Okay. I think there's a reservoir.
And that's why, because I see the ones that they wear, like obviously you get the block ones. I think Kimi had it on, and then Fernando often has it on as well, and so does Lewis. But I was sort of a bit dumbfounded by that. I thought, surely that's not 5 kilos of weight. Yeah. But anyway, credit to them because they played it really well. I think Tyre Deg played a huge part in that result too. They got it right in the heat for the first time. So fair play. That's absolutely. He was challenged by a range of different drivers, probably throughout the day, because while they weren't necessarily on his hammer the whole time, the strategies were coming into play, and Kimi almost pulled one out of the bag with his one of his pit stops where they came in on the lap.
Two of his pit stops.
He came in on a lap where he probably, if he had been one lap later, he might have taken the lead, or at least been in the hunt for the lead. I don't know if he would have actually taken the lead, but he would have been fresher tyres right up his clacker. But it was, it was strong. It was a race that George really needed, wasn't it, Shane?
Well, I think, yes, it was. And I think Kimi's still looking faster. I think if Kimi hadn't have mucked up those corners at the start, he was coming home, pulled back 10, 15 seconds on George in that last. So you just don't know how much, I guess, George is managing. But, yeah, he picked up 10 to 15 seconds over that last 20 laps.
Yep.
But, yeah, though, he needed that race, and you could hear the relief in his voice, I think, when he finished. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think he had the pace at different times. I don't know that. I think he had the stronger race than Kimi on pace as well through most of the race, but there was certainly a moment towards the end where you're like, "Ooh, Kimi is closing hard at the moment." But
yeah, I guess Kimi was in the advantage. They weren't trying to cover off other people.
Yeah, fresher tyres.
Yeah, he had those.
Yeah. I think there was all sorts of offsets that were making him look better at that point in time. But yeah, it was good for the championship, I thought. It was nice for George to actually pick up some points. Would have been nice if Lewis could have been in there too and picking up points as well. But yeah, the Ferrari seemed to drop away. Kimi's in a nice space though, isn't he?
So it's second round in a row where he's had really good time management and speed at the end of the race as well. So I wonder if that's just a little skill set that we're going to see unfold over the next, month to 2 months.
And it's probably a learnt thing. I mean, we were talking about Oscar learning a lot last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Kimi showing how much he's learnt, because last year he wasn't great with his time management, Kimi. Yep. And so, yeah, we are seeing the development of the driver, and he doesn't seem to be faltering at the pressure of being the leader at the moment.
Apart from that first sort of 2 laps where he ran off the track, and that's one of those frustrating things, I guess, that people would find frustrating, that he didn't really lose much for running off the track 3 times in
people find
laps.
Frustrating. That person's me.
Yes.
I cannot deal with it. If you run off the track, there should be a penalty of some sort. It's just... they do it all the time. It can't be allowed to happen. There should be some sort of penalty.
Well, he did go down the escape roads and the actual path through, so I think that's all right.
But then, and when he gave that position back, because he did make
that was the one
jump,
where he got an advantage.
Yeah, but that was a really smart hand back of position for someone as inexperienced as Kimi. Like, that's the kind of thing that Max does, we saw Seb do, and stuff like that, where you give the front axle away and then you just grab him the next corner as well. So I thought that was really well done by him to do that in that manner.
But yeah, no, penalty for me. Should be a penalty in there somewhere if you're going off the track. The racetrack's the racetrack. I mean, for me, I found it then strange that surely then the warning flag should have been coming out, because he'd been off the track 3 times in the first lap, whereas they seemed to get away with it that first one. I just don't understand it. It shouldn't happen. If there was a wall there, he wouldn't be able to do it, and he would have miraculously made it. Max, we saw some upgrades given to the Red Bull, and it looked like they weren't really working, and then all of a sudden through qualifying, as Max typically does, he came alive and showed that he was on top of his car and was looking really good. It's a strong comeback from Red Bull.
A massive upgrade package, 10 parts or 10 different components.
And didn't look like it was working.
Absolutely
for all
not.
accounts, which is typical because they've got to go through the testing and all sort of stuff. It's not like it just comes straight out and you bolt it on and off you go. But yeah, it didn't look like it was working. And then, lo and behold, come qualifying, here it is, and I'm away and ready to go.
I wonder if they're sacrificing quali pace for race pace at the moment. Whereas
his quali pace was pretty decent, wasn't
it?
It came out of the blue.
I thought his race pace was better than his quali pace. So I just wonder, are they giving that away to have a better result on Sunday?
Is it going to be a sign that they're now in the hunt?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Very much like Lewis. There was lots of people up and down about Lewis last week, and he was not really anywhere this week. So I think, again, we'll wait and see. That's probably going to be the theme of this year. Like, if McLaren get it together at Silverstone, it's going to be months before you can actually see what the actual pace is.
Yep,
for those guys.
He's closer this year than he was at the same time last year.
Yep. Which is amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is amazing to think.
Yep.
And it's a different way because he was kept in the hunt because of McLaren's errors last year, whereas this is just, I'm genuinely working away and chipping away at it too.
Yep.
And then you'd have a really nervous Kimi and you'd have a very nervous George, I think, if Max was on him.
He's a fair way back still, isn't
he? You can never discount him. Like, you can never discount him regardless of the margin. You really can't.
It's also going to really look into what happens with these last couple of rounds, if they're going to replace them, because that makes more breathing space.
If they're going to give the extra ones, are they going to leave them out? 100%.
It's nearly impossible to make that call at the moment, isn't it? Because
Well, they're saying
at one point in time it looks like everything's all over and we've got a peace deal, and then all of a sudden they're firing rockets again. So it's nearly impossible to make that call. I mean, the one call you could make is changing where that race is held.
Absolutely.
However, we make it sound easy from the headquarters of Beyond the Racing Line because we don't have all those contracts in place. These places have contracts in place, and so it's big money and it's end of season, so it's not like it's a really easy fix. So I just can't see them having an answer on it anytime soon.
Well, they actually said around Spa, they would
Have an
make
answer.
some sort of
Yep.
announcement around that sort of, whether it's just a contingency in place. And they talked about Portimao and
Yep.
a couple of other things like that, even doing 2 races at Las Vegas, which would be awful. But anyway.
Well, no, what I'm to think about pet peeves. 3 races in America at the moment is my pet peeve. It just does my head in at the moment. I do not need any more there.
No.
2 at Vegas, no thanks.
Mind you, the very first Vegas I had was fantastic.
I couldn't agree more. It just doesn't need more races
No.
there. It's just, put another one at Silverstone or somewhere like that. Isaac Hadjar looked like he was on track, didn't he, to be matching a decent result, and sort of just fell away towards the end.
Yep.
It wasn't a horrific result. He's still well and truly doing as well as what we'd probably expect from him at the moment. He seems to be, on average, about a 10th off qualifying, which is closer than anyone's been to Max since Ricciardo.
Yep.
But ended up in 6th. Probably wasn't the result he was looking for. He's probably hoping to get in amongst the next guys, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was only 3 seconds ahead of Lando too. And I thought Lando had a really poor weekend as well. So, and then if you think, and Charles also had a shocker. So, I don't know. I think it's still good that he's in there scoring points.
Absolutely.
He's not doing what they need him to do in terms of big constructor points as well. He's just having a nice patch at the moment.
Yep.
He does need to, in order for him to really step it up, he's got to start getting in the way of other people. Like having that 2 car in the fight. It's still sort of 1 at the moment, isn't it? So, but, time will tell with that.
He's still up on previous partners in position.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Quite often, you'll see the 2 Mercedes guys within a couple of positions of each other. You'll see Oscar and Lando within a couple of positions of each other.
Yeah.
The Ferrari boys, he's not quite there yet.
But he did beat 2 Ferrari drivers and a McLaren driver, which is something Max's teammates haven't been able to do for a while. So
Yep. One Ferrari driver, I think.
One Ferrari driver.
Yeah.
But right up the clacker of the other one.
Yeah, that's right. Still chipping away. He'll be a very interesting person to watch while this Max conversation continues, if he's potentially at the door. Red Bull desperately needed a decent result out of this car because the rumours around Max wanting to be on the move and helped by his manager, it was certainly a very much needed time for Red Bull to step it up, wasn't it? So I'm not sure it's going to completely quash those rumours just yet. I think there'll be a bit to play out yet. Oscar, Shane mentioned it. Oscar had a decent race.
Super round. 4th. Quali was all right, but his sort of early stint was terrific. Good
Quali
passes.
looked like they were where they should have been.
Yeah, they kind of did, didn't they?
Yep. And then he seemed to have better race pace.
Yep. And to have strung a couple of weekends together too for the first time.
Yep.
So, really solid, really solid. Really understated, I thought, of the weekend too.
Yep.
Like, not a lot of noise around it, but I feel like it should be.
Yeah, and he was ahead of, Lando in most practice sessions.
Yes, absolutely.
And just that, as he has that habit, he was ahead of Lando on that first run and then didn't improve as much as what Lando did in the second run of the qualifying 3. But and then the first lap or 2 I was watching thinking, Lando looks like he's all over him here, but nothing, he just drove away from Lando and beat him by over 10 seconds. So,
which is a Lando track, isn't it? Like he performed
really
well.
And that's what the commentary was saying, that this is one of his specialty tracks. So, no, Oscar did well, and I was worried when they put the hards on at the end, quite early. I thought, they might come apart at the end, but no, he was still driving away at the same pace as what Lando was, with sort of 6 laps older tyre. So
some more upgrades to come too.
Yep.
Which they seem to be drip feeding him at the moment, McLaren.
Yeah.
I think they sort of introduce some and then don't necessarily use them all. I think they're sort of just doing it that way. But I think they've got a high speed, low downforce wing to come, which is
they said they just had it sitting there.
Yeah, something which is something they've needed for a long time. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. Can't imagine they're using it next week, are they?
Not sure.
You'd want
dunno.
downforce, and a bit more downforce there, wouldn't
Well, possibly. I was reading today that Max has been very vocal about the simulator work, that at some stage you're going to totally run out of battery around Silverstone in a massive way, and you're just going to be like described as almost on fumes on petrol, just potting your way to the line to get a recharge and start again. So I wonder, I'd be interested to see if we do anything between practice sessions, if that becomes the case. Because we can't have that. You can't have that. So maybe they will.
No one's going to notice. That's the thing. Like, since the commentators stopped talking about it, it's gone out of the talk, the thought of it all.
I reckon you will. I reckon it'll be really obvious if that happens on Sunday. I reckon it'll be very obvious. Imagine going down Hanger Straight and then just running out of fumes.
No, it might happen.
Yeah.
But we all know what Max's opinion on it all is at the moment. He wants to continue to roll.
He's right, though.
This rhetoric. Well, he might be right, but this is probably, like, we've seen some magnificent racing. And so there's sort of needs to be a point where Max gives up on it a little bit. Like, there's nothing that's going to be fixed anytime soon.
They made good headway with the deployment changes.
But if this is still the case, there's nothing that's going to be fixed for the rest of the season.
No, but I think if we
it's
make tweaks between the sessions, like that, the amount of energy charge that you can and can't deploy, like we did post before we come back from the big break.
Yeah.
And then we had those rounds where, I know we weren't talking about it, but it wasn't visibly obvious on track. You couldn't sort of pick it and go, I can see what's happened there. We did this weekend. I think we saw it a couple of times. The Ferrari had really unusual deployment.
Well, it was just he was defending. He ran out of the ability to defend it.
It was visibly obvious, which is the thing we don't want to see. You don't want to get halfway down and
doesn't worry me anymore.
Really, it's still a bugbear of mine. I don't want to see that.
It wasn't super clipping. It was just he ran out of the extra energy that he was trying to deploy. For me, it's not an issue. We're seeing overtaking, which we haven't seen for years. Which we haven't seen in every season for like every year. It's nice when that's happening. I think it's working quite well. For me, Max has to get over it a little bit and get on with racing. When I saw those comments, I was just like, move on. Like, there's not, like, they've talked about the fact that they've got things in place that they're going to try and make those improvements. I bet you it's just Max pushing his agenda. We'll wait and see. But yeah, for me, it's producing wonderful racing at the moment, so you can't be too critical. The Ferrari boys, speaking of critical,
terrible, gone
from heroes to nothing in the end, didn't they? Tyre management just absolutely cooked them. They could not keep a tyre in the right window, and that meant that strategy looked bad. But it turns out, I could not get over the fact that they went for an early pit stop under the virtual safety car when it just seemed so early, and they went to the softs and just like, what are you doing, boys?
No, they went back to being the Ferrari of old with that call. Even Charles's call at the end, they put him to a 3-stop when he'd basically driven it like a 2-stop, and he got no real benefit at the end. But they were horrid on the hard tyres. Yep. So, and look, at one stage, if that yellow had been a double wave, they were on first and second on the grid.
Yeah.
Charles looked like he got back into his groove, and then he just went backwards.
I wonder how that would have benefited them if they could have started the race out front, if there would have been a huge benefit to their tyre management being in that fresh air. I wonder whether that would have been enough to keep them competitive, or if, they're just in such a bad spot.
Yeah, but the gap had opened up a little bit early on in the race where Lewis didn't have...
Should have had, yeah.
Well, he didn't have... And he didn't have... He'd fallen away, and Charles had fallen away. Had a gap that was reasonably clear air, but they just ate the tyres.
I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Jack Crawford or not. One of the test drivers who did a FP1 was on for FP2, and he was talking about the interesting way that they manage tyres here. And at this racetrack, you want to heat the inside of the tyre. You want to heat the whole tyre, not the surface of the tyre. And so at this track, by the time, because it's such a short track, but it's so aggressive, by the time you get to the end of your lap, you've got the heat in the middle of your tyre, but you then want to cool the outside of your tyre, and you can't do it. And so you actually run out of tyres throughout the race. And it was interesting hearing them talk about the two different parts of the tyre that you want to be heating. You want, towards the end of the lap, you want to cool them down, but you just don't have the time to do it. And
There's just so much that goes into driving.
It is, yeah. It's just I just found it really interesting thinking about the different components and how they're thinking about those things, and yeah, it's interesting. Liam Lawson was on fire, miraculously didn't stop him from racing. He raced the race on fire. He was still on fire.
Just remind me of Ricky Bobby a bit.
A little bit, yep. Arvid Lindblad.
Was he really on fire?
I think Lindblad was on fire at one stage too, wasn't he? Or was he just talking about being hot? So I'd never actually heard what the problem was. What was the issue? Does anyone know?
I actually don't know what it was.
It just never appeared in the
end. It might have been smoke. I mean, I didn't see anything physically on fire on track, a la the Cadillacs. But
no, because they'd qualified really well and started really well.
It could
have
just been smoke. Even the team didn't come over the radio and say, "Hey, do this or do that." It was just,
not that we heard. Not that they've shown much of it. So
I don't know. Look, as much as I'm not a fan of him as a person, as a driver, you have to take your hat off to him and how well his last month has been in particular.
Yeah.
Like, it really has been, from just a pure driving perspective, it's the first time that I think he is absolutely nailing on track.
It's hard to
really
know.
well.
It's hard to know, though. For me, it's hard to know. He's up against Arvid Lindblad, who seems to be doing a good job as well.
I think even not in comparison to Lindblad either. I think if I look at just Lawson by himself in isolation, I think just the way that he's going about it is really, really, really well. Especially, as I said, his last month has been terrific. So, yeah, credit to him and just what he's doing. It's been really, really good.
Yeah,
really, really well done.
Yeah, I think he's going well. Yeah, I wonder whether it's a better car than what they're driving.
Well, it generally is, isn't it? We've seen it with Yuki and his time there. Like, it seems to be a really good balanced car for just a young driver coming in. Like, even Lindblad in his round 8 or whatever, and his 8 rounds have been really great as well. Even again in comparison to Lawson, and then by himself as well too. So it's the type of team and car that you can hit the ground running, jump in and do really well. And just take your time developing skills and all that kind of stuff, and then, I guess it's supposed to shoot you off into the stratosphere, isn't it, to Red Bull? But it's not always the case either. So, yeah, I think very, 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 very good race.
Yep, absolutely. It was interesting to see the Audis back.
It was. They've been threatening, haven't they?
Well, a little bit.
Last 3 weeks,
Nico's
really
had a lot of 11th places.
They showed some promise early in the season and hadn't quite got there.
Upgrades a fortnight ago.
Looked like they were going backwards. It sort of looked like they started the season well and then couldn't quite, but now they're making a little resurgence, which is nice to see.
They don't seem to have the points on the board to reflect the success that they're having this season either. Like, I think it's been the best of... they're almost as good as Alpine for me. Like, probably a little bit better, to be quite honest, because they're starting from nowhere. But I think
Alpine was probably further back.
Yeah.
Think about last year.
Yeah,
Alpine came from a long way back.
I guess they were staked the year before, weren't they?
Yeah,
but I think really, the upgrade package really good, really well done. So,
Yep. Yeah, the boys, you might hear the boys outside. There'll be a lot of rot talk spoken out there, I imagine.
Absolutely, there will.
Like Shane said, though, like Hulkenberg has had a lot of 11th places, and he finished in 12th this one. Once again, great race, no result for it, unless you're in F1.5 and in the results.
Oh, well, that's
where we find out, isn't it? Alpine just not quite there this one.
I thought it was a big fail on Alpine's behalf this round.
It just seems like
it was just poor. It was really poor.
I just think these cars their windows are just suited to certain tracks.
Your man was
and if
nowhere.
you can open them up,
he was nowhere.
Who's that? Your
man, the 27 world champion to be, Franco Colapinto.
Oh, Franco.
Yep, I'm surprised you're not in Colapinto gear. I guess this is middle of the afternoon.
I had someone over for dinner the other day,
and
they turned up in Alpine gear. I was like, "You're Franco! How good's that?" The jumper was really nice, actually. But yes, I was enjoying the fact that he was a Franco Colapinto fan. But no,
he was nowhere. Gasly was too busy reflecting on getting his Monaco trophy, and he was still in 7 days ago. So it was a big fail. It was a big fail for them.
I just think it's certain windows for tracks and cars and drivers, and certainly wasn't fitting there. But I mean, they've still had a decent start to the season, that's for sure.
Yep.
The Haas guys, bit of no man's land.
Yep. No, they don't exist at the moment, do they?
They're a disappointment. Really, I thought they would have been better up. Like, and it's I guess it's hurting people like Behrman because they're not under any attention at the moment. Whereas people were talking him up about maybe going to Ferrari, and now you're just not. And especially the way the coverage was on the weekend, where you did not see anything outside the top sort of 8.
Yep.
So those people, no one's actually getting that exposure.
Nor should you if the racing's good in that.
They're still, they're non-existent.
I have no interest in seeing what's going on down there. If the
but we also
racing's
missed
good.
like a Lawson overtaking 2 cars in the one straight
okay.
and things like that.
That's okay.
It was different. It was one of those weekends where there was far too much going on up the front. So I didn't need to see.
No, that's right.
8
Nobodies. There are a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, it's when it's the other way. It's when we've got battles for the
nothing to see.
lead, and it's like, hey, by the way, Stroll's on for a lap that's a second quicker than last lap. Let's watch it. I don't want to watch that. So yeah.
Speaking of disappointments.
Speaking of disappointments,
Williams, Alpine, Cadillac. It's just a season to forget for all of them at the moment, isn't it?
we should have a flush, like a toilet flush.
Is there any
sound effect?
sound effects? That's the last thing you need in your life. Are we still just giving Cadillac passes just for being out there at the moment?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They were ahead of Aston Martin in qualifying.
They were.
Yep.
Yep. There won't, for me personally, there won't be a point through the year where I'll give Caddy a fail.
When do you want to see improvement in them?
Next year.
Next year. You want to see some improvement next year?
Yeah. So I'm all right. Like, we know it's a brand new team, so dead last is okay. Well, like, we nearly had Perez points the other week. Don't forget that too. So, it's all right with what we're doing at the moment, and then I think next season you just got to not be last. Like, you'd want to be second last. And just slowly make your way up.
This was the team's issue with them coming in.
Yeah.
That we're going to have a back marker.
Yeah.
And
Justin Martin.
You've got to give them a little bit of time,
Yep.
I know. But yeah, you do want to see them making some moves sooner rather than later.
But they're not like 10 seconds off the pace or anything like that.
I'm with you.
They're still...
They're a lot further than that.
They're competitive with the bottom half. It's not like you have your top tier, your mid runners.
If Aston Martin and Williams hadn't have had such a bad season, I think they would look way worse than what they are.
I think it would, but again, it wouldn't be like Aston are further back than what Caddy are. So I think if it had been that, swap your teams there, and you've got Cadillac that are 5 to 6 seconds off the pace, that's alarm bell. You'd go, ugh, and then people would be questioning whether we needed that team. And it would also be really poor for a new team that might look to come in the future as well. So,
yeah. They're a bit of a watch for me. I think we want to start to see a little bit of improvement in them. They're just not getting laps in.
No.
That's part of the issue.
Yeah, and that hurts. Like,
Yep. Which is why a lot of teams were very sceptical about allowing them in.
And this brake issue has obviously been an issue for the last few weeks as well, so it's a huge flaw that they need to get on top of ASAP.
Yep.
At least they're bringing upgrades and doing stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had a couple of upgrades. Well, Aston...
I'm not sure they're working.
I mean, Aston detuned their engine this round by 26 kilometres to avoid failure.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a try.
They should have come with a paint job. That's been their upgrade this year, hasn't it?
Well, can't wait to see their new car when it comes out. Eventually.
How's the ruckus outside going? I'm trying to listen with one ear as to what the actual topic
legends in their own backyard. Don't even worry about it.
Ronaldo's been big at home at the moment, and all I've heard down the hallway is "Sew." I'm like, mate, stop.
The best. Speaking of the greatest, All Signs, thanks to All Signs 3, 2, and 1. Who's getting the points this week?
Who's in the points this week? I'm gonna give 3 to Max. Yep, I really am. I'm gonna give 3 to Max. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm gonna give 3 to Max. I'm gonna give 2 to Oscar, and I'm gonna give 1 to Lawson.
None to George for his comeback.
No.
For good qualifying. That was a fair lap.
That's good.
Shane?
I'm going to go 3 to Max, 2 to Oscar, even though I did vote for Driver of the Day of Oscar on TV.
And I've never voted as Driver of the Day. Did you do that?
I just decided to, because when people are giving it to like Franco Colapinto and that, I thought,
that's where like you probably got 10 phones out in the lounge
10
room,
devices,
and just like getting everyone to do it.
And I'm going to give the 1 to George because under pressure,
I'm going to give 3 to George. I thought his quality lap was so far ahead, and he had the smarts to make it work for him. And then he turned it into a tough win. Like, it wasn't like it was a straightforward win. So, for me, 3, and he needed that so much for his championship. So, yeah, full points to George. I'm going to give 2 points to Max and 1 to Oscar. I thought they both had stellar drives, and it was good to see. Really, really enjoyable. Dud of the day.
Dud of the day. I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to go with a current dud, and I'm going to go with a future dud. I'm going to do next round's dud now. Because I already know what it is.
Outstanding.
As much as I enjoyed the drone footage on the weekend, it is still the dud for me. Because we drove it off track, and credit to the operators who were working tirelessly to get it online with those cars coming around. But we saw more grass than what we did track action. And I probably saw it every lap, and I didn't need to see it every lap. And it was something nice that just became an overkill.
To me. I didn't see it
and it was I thought it was really poor, and I didn't enjoy it at all. So that's a little bit of my current round.
So who are you giving credit to? The drone drivers, but then you just gone and hammered them for everything that they did.
Yeah, just like good effort. But it was all grass. It was all grass. So that's my current dud. I did not enjoy the drone. I put it up as a post actually on socials. I'd be interested. I might actually.
Did you enjoy the drone, Shane?
I did enjoy the drone, but I think, as I said in one of your socials, that you couldn't have it all the time. Like you couldn't do it. And I don't know what coverage you were watching. Whether you're watching the same lap over and over and over again.
I might have been.
We saw it, but we didn't see it too much. I thought it was quite good. And watching those overtakes, one of them with Oscar coming up the inside and things like that through the drone was really good.
So some of our comments on this, Adam Hughes, drone, baby drone. I don't know if that's good or not, which is, Simon Blackbird said the drone angle and quality was too much of a visual break in continuity. So didn't enjoy it. Heli shots and ground cameras are much better. Nat Pollard agreed with that. Royce Peters said heli shots were much better, but Shane said I liked it in small doses, so which is good.
I thought the drone footage was unbelievable. You just don't necessarily need it in that race. So you use it for your special effects, you use it for the extras, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But for what I saw, I thought it was great. I thought there was parts of it that was really fantastic.
I've seen it done so much better in other categories. And then I'd be more inclined to have something like a camera on a flywire or something like that. I think when we do that at Silverstone, Silverstone has a camera on a flywire. I think it's
they do it at Vegas. Yep.
Yeah, that's really good. And I love
see, that's boring. Because it's just down the straight. I find that so boring.
The concept was there, but we just missed the mark. Like, for me, you needed to be directly over the cars.
Well, you can't be directly over the cars.
And that's why I was like, nah. So,
but the wire doesn't go directly over the cars. That goes along the side.
Yeah, but in the pit lane, you've got the fly-by-wire going straight over the top. Yep.
No, I thought it was good.
I'm all for it. So,
let's develop it. Let's continue on.
Develop it, yeah. But for this round, it was my dud for this round.
What's your future dud?
My future dud is Williams' special livery. Now, it came out.
Welcome aboard.
So this is next.
Welcome aboard, Tristan.
This is next round.
There's nothing special about a special livery.
There it is. I'm showing you. I know. I'm showing things
through our podcast. Is that it? Because I can't find the Union Jack on it.
Neither can I. So if you zoom in on the nose, there is what I can describe as a scratch of red, a scratch of white, and a scratch of blue, just on the nose. And that is the Union Jack-inspired livery. That is hideous. It looks like paint scratches after a crash. It is the most pathetic special livery I have ever seen in my life.
What's that?
No.
Look, I'm not.
It is.
I'm not going to comment.
It is not. You don't need to comment because it is.
But you do need to say, Roger, you're right.
So.
But special liveries have just gotten so out of hand.
No,
there's nothing special about them.
There's nothing special about that. That looks like crash damage.
They're all like that. Like, they're all just like, let's just see what we can do to make it different.
Gravel trap damage, not even crash damage.
See, I actually like the McLaren special livery over their one they've got. The one with the boxes all over the place a little bit, I thought was better the last couple of weeks than this one.
For me, they're wasting our time. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine. I should have had it as my pet peeve.
You should have. So I've got the week off duds next week, unless
you're wrong.
Unless I'm wrong.
Unless it looks spectacular.
Maybe it's like one of those ones that here's what it is, and then it comes out totally different. Yeah, it's gravel rash is what it is. So
anyway. Got a dud, Shane?
Yeah, it had to be Cadillac.
Yeah.
I just think... Yeah.
For me, I'm a bit the same. I was like, you know what? They promised that they weren't going to do this. There was an element where they promised that they weren't going to be this poor. We were going to be significant in Formula One. And so I think there needs to be a little bit of responsibility given to them for that.
Yeah, I could have had the old Chariot done more laps than they did.
Yep. It was it was a bit of a poor performance, and I was just seeing a little bit of it at the moment, which is it's not going great. I get it. We want to make sure that they're continuing on and they get a bit of a pass, but yeah, at this point of the season, they should be producing more laps than what they did. My dud has got to be just the ruling under the yellow flags. You cannot have a yellow flag go out and you drop a 10th, and that's considered safe. If you're qualifying, you get a yellow flag and you're only dropping a 10th of a second, that's not enough. You can't be doing that. So for me, yellow flags, you've got to be breaking more. You had a man in the wall, can't be pushing the boundary. So I want to see that improved, and I dare say it will. Actually, I think it was a bit of an embarrassment for Formula One. Got a hero of the hour?
Yes, my hero of the hour is the historic run that happened on Ferrari Saturday morning.
Didn't see it. Tell me more.
Absolutely phenomenal. It was it Barrichello?
Barrichello in a Ferrari.
Ferrari. You had
2002 Ferrari, I think, which is that controversial one where he swapped positions at the same track.
Yep.
And gave Schumacher the win.
I wish he swapped positions.
So that was super. And then you had Coulthard in the RB, I want to say 9. I feel like that's wrong. But him, and then you had one of Lauder's. So you think you had Matthias Lauder. Matthias Lauder was driving his dad's Ferrari as well. It was one of the best historic pre-race things that I've seen.
And they had they had one of the Brabham,
they did. The Brabham as
car
well.
and the Tyrrell 6-wheeler.
I imagine it cost them a fortune to do this.
I can imagine it did, but it was spectacular.
Whenever we're there, it's one of the highlights of the weekend. At the track, if they bring out like a V10 or a V12 or whatever, it is a highlight seeing it go around.
It was awesome.
I'd love to see them doing it.
So you had about 8 of them, and then you had DC and you had Barrichello actually kind of racing each other as well. Like, it wasn't just a procession. It was, and I thought it was one of the best of the year. I don't think we'll see better, to be quite honest. I know we have the odd one or two at Australia. I think the last 2 years they've both broken down, haven't they? We're supposed to see one this year that Jack Doohan was supposed to drive, or was that the year before? And they got damaged in Adelaide or something like that. And we didn't see that. They were supposed to have another one come out that did sort of a semi-show run. So anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Are you got a hero?
No, that was probably it, that one, So it was good to watch.
Yep. F1.5.
F1.5. Greatest championship in...
Are we having a promotion?
The world. Not quite.
Just the boys just adding to the podcast again. Yeah. They're all over it, the boys. Yes, let's keep going with the F1.5. These daytime recordings, maybe not for us, turns out.
This is what we do. F1.5, greatest championship in the world. We might have a promotion, but we're not there just yet. All right, Austria round.
Because you forgot.
No, I did it. Austria round. Here is your podium for Austria. Hadjar does take the win. So that would actually...
The longer you delay this, the more work you've got to do redoing it.
Without Monaco, that's actually 5 wins in a row, so maybe. So Hadjar took the win. Lawson came second and Lindblad came third. That's your podium for Austria. And then the points look a little bit like this. Going to do business as usual. I'm going to go fourth. I'm going to go fourth, third, second, first, and then I'm just going to give you everyone else this week. How's that sound? So you've only got to listen at the start, and then you can
switch off.
Then you can switch off and look around the...
I've had a request. People want to see this as a graphic.
As a graphic?
They want to see a graphic of F1.5.
I will do a graphic. All right, that's fair.
Because I've got a feeling they're all like me, where you just can't really work out what you've just talked about.
Okay.
And so we want to see a graphic.
So it needs to go on Insta.
Yep.
All right, we'll do that. Bit of listening skills might go straight too. All right, fourth place is your man in Colapinto on 87
Let's not get lost
points.
in him being my man.
No, absolutely.
I was happy to give him some plaudits because I was a little bit mean to him.
No, he's
100%
yours in every way, shape, and form. And
you're still mean to him on the board.
Well, I mean, gosh, you've had you've had plenty of time to put him on the board, and you just refused to.
He's bottom of the barrel
Bottom
still.
of the barrel still.
There's probably a board above.
There
his
was you guys
bedroom or something like that.
wanted me to
Just
get him
says
out of bottom
poster
of
on
the
his
barrel.
poster on the
His
roof.
roof.
That's right.
If we go back and listen to last week's audio, you guys wanted me to get him out of bottom of the barrel. And what was my wording? We're just going to wait and see.
Oh, we're going to wait. You've probably cut his face out and put him in all your family photos around your house as well, or something
Wedding
like that.
photo.
Wedding photo. He said
Roger and Franco.
That's good.
yes, let's check on the way out. So Colapinto in 4th place, 87 points. He is your man. 3rd place is Liam Lawson on 117 points. Hadjar is in 2nd place on 118, and it's still Pierre Gasly that leads all comers on 131. So while Hadjar has had 4 of the last 5 wins, he is still only a
He
point.
mustn't have scored a point for the
He
first
is
part of
only
the season.
well. Then this is why he's in. He's only a point ahead of Lawson, and he's still quite a bit behind Gasly as well. So while a promotion is looking likely, it's definitely not on the cards just yet. To go through everyone else, Behrman's on 81. He's tied with Lindblad, who's also on 81. Bortoletto's on 53. Ocon 64. Alex Albon, last year's winner, having a stinker of a year, 34 points, which is atrocious. Sainz, surprisingly, 63 points, is doing all right. Perez is on 8. Hulk is on 37, and then you've got Bottas on 2, Stroll is on 2, and Fernando is on 11 points. So that is F1.5 for round 8. Is it round 8?
Yes, we just had round 8. Yes.
Is round 8 of the championship.
Yep. 13 rounds to go.
13 to go.
It's we're not even halfway yet,
No,
which is
great news.
possibly 13.
Great
could be
news.
11, could be 13. We'll wait and see. Yeah, it's ticking away nicely.
Beautiful.
Any news that you want to get to?
A little bit of news, but let's do fantasy first. Thanks to Chris at Dr. Auto Art for all of your fantasy needs, for your poster needs, for your artworks. He did a great artwork of George as well this round, which was very, very good. So if you're a George fan, get around Chris. Instagram, Facebook, Redbull, email, subscribe. Sort of Christmas in July-ish. Do you celebrate Christmas in July?
Never done it once.
Me neither.
No,
No
me
interest.
either.
Never been given a gift. Won't ever buy one. But if you don't do that, it is actual National Social Media Day today. So if you,
for all your social media
for your
friends.
social media friends, get around Chris's social media. It's also National Outfit of the Day. It's World Snorkeling Day. And it's also National Corvette Day.
And it's National Hug Day, I heard
Is
on
it?
the radio this
Oh.
morning.
Please don't touch me.
National Hug.
That's lovely.
That's good. So anyway, let's have a look at fantasy for this round, the Austrian Grand Prix. Top 10 look a little bit like this. It's Bo Cattle leading all comers for this round. 254 points. He used his triple. He had Kimi and George. Ooh, interesting. And he had 254 points with Audi as his constructor, so that was not too bad for him. It's Zanetta in 2nd place on 244. Roman Merrick, Dean Holt, Andy Tales were also on 244. I was in 6th place. I scored 234 for the round, and then you had ACR, Ola Babs, Aaron Norton, and Gavin D'Souza rounding out the top 10. If we're going a little bit further down to see where we were, Shane was in 28th place. It's not too bad. 191.
I know. I
For
put
the
the
round?
curse. I put the curse on. I got rid
What
of.
was your curse?
Well, I got rid of Oscar. Every time I put someone in the team,
Yep.
they go crap. So I got rid of Oscar and bought in Charles.
And I thank you
And-
for that. And Oscar thanks you for that. Well done.
Yeah,
you should
well-
absolutely dump your second driver and get a better constructor, as I think what you need to do there.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I dumped Franco this round and I brought in Lawson. So I was pretty happy with that. So 28th for you on 191. And where are you? Our friend Sam is in 37th place on 172.
Only Sam.
And then if we're still going down a little bit further, oh, it's not good, mate, because they haven't found you. Right, they are 60th place.
Holy moly.
124. It's not too bad considering we've only got 63 people. So 124. 124 for you. Paige Pearsall had a stinker. Shout out to Paige. 81 points. And just a bit of feel good for Lexi Burks. They scored 4 points.
I just had a look at Lexi's
Literal
team, actually.
4.
Tell me about
So
it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Lexi hasn't touched her team since it starts, and
Yeah.
she has
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good strategy.
Has minimal.
She has
understanding
Lando
of
for
Formula
double
One
points, Fernando, Arvid Lindblad, Lewis, Feltry, Williams and Cadillac as the two
Yeah,
constructors.
that hurts you. How many points do you get for Cadillac? Surely you get minus about 100
you
for
got
that. Minus
minus
35.
35
That's
points for
not
that.
great there. So
Got a feeling Lexi might be going for the lowest
got a
score
feeling
possible.
might be aiming for that. Only way is up. And then if we look at our overall for the
And
third
that's all we've got
round in a
time for
row,
today.
I am still in front. Bronwyn Collier, boys, has let you down in every facet of fantasy. So you put the mods on her a couple of weeks ago and she's dropped points. So it's 3 weeks in a row that I lead.
What's your lead?
My lead at the moment is, I'm going to say
60.
63 points, which is pretty tidy. I extended my lead over Bronwyn, which is good. So, 2093 is my score, and that's first place. Bronwyn is in second on 2026. Asia Garcia is in third place on 1,988. I think Asia actually has a really good team, so I think Asia is probably in the box seat, to be honest, at the moment. Gavin D'Souza is in fourth on 1,952. Spartisi Das, Tommy Wilson. Dean Holt is in seventh on 1,846. Ola Babs, Roman Merrick, and James Doran on 1,830 round out the top 10. A few people have started to get Hadjar in there. I wonder if that'll sort of paying dividends there with having Hadjar. I've missed the boat on Hadjar. Have you got Hadjar? I think I've missed him.
I couldn't tell you who I've got.
No, we'll find out for you. And
We
then we'll
can look.
scroll all the way down. Let's see where you are, Shane.
39.
39th, that's all right. That's not
better
too
than
bad.
last year,
Yes,
anyway.
it's a little bit low last year. Sebastian Freer is in 37th.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, bit of family sort of. Ooh.
Could be on.
Ooh, they're going to be family sort of fisticuffs there. And then as we keep going down, 56th place for you, my friend.
Ah,
1,200. So,
Who has Roger? So we're just opening
Who have I
Roger's
got?
team.
Yeah, even I'm interested.
Charles for two times two.
you've got
That's a shame.
Oscar, you've got Charles, you've got Arvid,
Sounds pretty good.
you've got
Gabby,
Oh, yeah.
Ollie.
Behrman, and then you've got Audi, and you've got Ferrari as well.
Audi's come
you've
back.
gone drivers instead of constructors there. I think
Now,
that's-
I've heard that Tristan's like thinking about his prize already, and I think he's getting himself in the Aston Martin, isn't it?
I
You
was thinking
pretending
of that, actually.
you're winning in the Aston
I
Martin.
think it was me winning in the Aston with Fernando handing me
the trophy.
the trophy.
As your picture.
It's more like a sort of father-son sort of thing happening,
you
which
don't
I think
get a
was...
picture.
No, that's the
Well, you-
picture. I'm pretty sure the winner gets a print of their choice, and that's my choice. I think I'm going to be like on top of
Just
like
careful.
a mountain.
You're advertising.
On top of like a mountain.
You're advertising like that is actually what the winner gets.
in
and it isn't quite what
gold,
they get.
in gold. I was thinking a gold race suit or something like that, and then I was going to have like you and Shane in the grandstand.
And at the top, just like
Just
massive
you.
flog.
Yeah, just grandstand, like Tristan grandstand, and then you and Shane like
the Tristan
we
grandstand.
love you with little love hearts. So that's what I'm kind of thinking.
To
So
carry
Chris,
those big heads
yeah,
in at the footy.
yeah, of just me, and then so let me know, Chris, if like. I'll send some photos through and we'll work on it. I look forward to seeing it. And then we'll get one for the studio as well, because why wouldn't you want to look at that every single time we come in here, rather than what you've got up on the wall here?
Yeah, nothing.
I'm excited.
I mean, he's got his Dr. Auto arts up there, his Ricardo, and
Absolutely.
his
Yep.
Alonso.
All of that will come down.
Yeah, good. Any news?
Any news? A little bit of talk around Nikola Solov, the F2 driver, possibly making his way into Formula One next year. He won again on the weekend for Campos. So a first place in a feature race. He's had 4 wins in Formula 2 this year so far, after finishing just 12th with 22 points. So he's a Red Bull Academy driver. There is lots and lots of talk around the paddock at the moment. And Max was the talk on the weekend going to McLaren. I
Swap for
can't
Oscar.
see that happening at all. But
Thoughts on it? Like you can't see it happening. Good for Max.
no, not necessarily. Like, McLaren aren't setting the world on fire at the moment. So if he's looking at future, I mean,
Yeah,
Red Bulls-
I mean, Red Bull were in a spot where they weren't looking too good.
yeah.
And so I think a lot will depend on how the rest of their season plays out.
But I guess we never thought Lewis would leave Mercedes either. I mean, like, I guess it
that's
would
right.
happen. But I mean, right now, if you're looking at McLaren, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the combination that they've got. So
Works quite well.
it works well, and if you think about that, like if Zach and crew found it quite difficult to manage papaya rules last year, gosh, can you imagine papaya rules with Max?
The suggestion is that it would be a straight swap for Oscar
Yeah.
into Red Bull.
I can't
Thoughts
see
on that for Oscar?
I think that's a bad move for Oscar.
Shane?
I think depending on where the car's at, I think it wouldn't be a bad move.
Go and lead a team.
Yeah, not be the second wheel or third wheel in the relationship between.
Yeah, it's very driven on where cars are at. I think Red Bull without Christian Horner is not the Red Bull we know. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit. I was surprised at how well they were able to manage the rest of the season last year, but I guess everything was in place by that point in time.
Yeah.
Even for the engine, I mean, they've managed to develop the best engine by all reports. But yeah, it's just a matter of how they're using it and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, it's a watch. Can you see him being anywhere else?
No, I can't.
Without, I mean, can you see him going? Sorry, this is back to Max. Can you see Max still looking at Mercedes as the spot to be?
I think that's more of a viable option, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think him.
Kimi and Max?
And Max. It won't be George and Max.
It
won't be
George and Max. No, it could be.
I can't imagine George and Max working too well together.
No. But a George and a Red Bull makes sense. That for me, that's more realistic than a Max to McLaren.
Yeah. See, I think the Zach would struggle with Max's personality.
He would
Zach,
not be able to contain.
He would,
at all.
And he wouldn't. He'd fight back, and I think that'd end up just at loggerheads.
And if you look at what he did with Dan as well, with his sort of failure on that contract,
what are they going to fight about?
I think just if things needed to go his way, or if he needed to have the number one status. Like, Zach's come from the last 24 months of having 2 number one drivers.
Which you guys are very critical of.
This set of rules, and he didn't handle that well. So then if you have someone come in...
Didn't handle it well?
No, not at all.
They won the World Drivers' Championship.
He didn't handle...
But Oscar didn't win it.
He didn't handle it well. And then if you have Max come in, and then you have Jos in the background as well, I don't look at someone like Zach who can handle that dynamic. I look at Toto, and absolutely, Toto can handle that. But I don't see Zach as that strong figurehead that can handle such a, I guess, in-your-face and full-on pairing.
I think you're being a little unfair to Max.
Oh, no, I'm more Zach.
Max gets in a car and drives. For me, I see Max as being the least hard work as a team principal of drivers getting around. I mean, he has been the number one since Ricciardo.
Yep.
But for me, Max gets in and makes the place better no matter where he goes.
There's no guarantee McLaren are going to be better, though.
But
he'll make the car better. He'll make fast.
Are we in agreement he's the fastest man on the grid at the moment?
Of course he is, absolutely is.
So what problems could you be having?
I just don't think it's a fit, and I just think that off-track dynamic, if it got out of hand...
I can't see it getting out of hand. Max goes in, he gets in, goes fast.
I can't see him turning up on day one doing that. I agree with you there, but if we got to a point where it did get out of hand... What I'm saying is I can't see Zach being able to deal with that at all whatsoever. Whereas if he's in
I can't see Zach dealing with Jos
absolutely. Whereas if he goes to Mercedes, and if it got out of hand, then Toto can deal with that. No worries at all, because he's a stronger figurehead.
Toto's a scary man.
Absolutely.
He's
a stronger figurehead than Zach. So it's not a knock on Max. I just think the skill set that Zach Brown, he wouldn't be able to handle that in the same way as others.
Toto gave the death stare to one of the reporters on... I think it must have been after qualifying. He was walking along and he just turned around and thought, oh, jeez.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want to be that person.
And he's got the experience of doing that.
Yep.
So anyway, big watch is, I'm going to say it all year, is Ocon. He's the key in all the driver movement, and I think Ocon will go at the end of the year. There's a spot at Haas. If Solov comes in, then maybe it might be the likes of Lindblad. Does he quickly jump ship from Red Bull and grab a customer drive? And a little bit more security there than maybe what he would have at Racing Bulls. Don't know, maybe.
I can't see a world where he'd be jumping from Racing Bulls to Haas.
He could, though.
The Haas seat is so insequential. It just doesn't make a difference to anybody. Yeah.
Are we going to see a trade? Are we going to see a driver get sacked before the end of the year?
Nah, I can't see anyone.
I don't think for the end of the year, but
there was a lot of talk of Bottas, wasn't there? But I just don't
they've
think...
come out and sort of poo-pooed that.
Yeah,
so
I just don't think Cadillac's in the business of dropping drivers at the moment they're at.
It's not their focus.
What about the Haas, though, with Ocon? Do you think if they had the chance, would they jump at a person now? Like even on loan, let's say they got him
probably
on loan.
Don't know. Like, it'd be more just you'd be only finding out about the driver. You wouldn't be looking at the driver to come in and do something spectacular with the car. I think it'd just be more, what's your interest in looking at them for a prospective drive?
He's on 3 points to his teammates, 18.
Yeah,
so it is, and that's a young teammate. I mean, I wouldn't have hired him to start with, so I feel like I'm biased in this conversation. So I would be sacking him. However, I can't see it happening, to be honest. I'm not sure there's anyone with the runs on the board yet.
Yeah, and that's why I think like a Lindblad is perfect. Like if you're not getting anything out of Ocon, in all honesty, I'm walking him out the door at the end of the year already. I can't see him there next year.
But why would Lindblad go?
No, because what I'm saying is like you do have a little bit of that insecurity in the Red Bull family.
Lindblad's in the prime seat. If Max leaves, if he can perform, he might be the man to step up.
Well, that's it. You don't know. And like if Max stays, then you could, like Lindblad could very well be pried out of Racing Bull and say, righto, come and ride along with Behrman. Two young drivers.
He's been brought up through the program. They're still developing.
Well, Gasly did it. Gasly jumped ship for a factory drive, didn't he? So that's. I mean, I know Haas isn't a factory drive, but there was that sort of, not so much like a sister team. Like you had that standalone team, and I think that would be an all right combination there. I mean, certainly Lindblad's not going to do any worse than what Ocon would. But that's all just hypotheticals. If Solov comes in, or could Haas grab Solov and say, hey, actually, you know what? You want to drive? We've got one for you.
That's what I was thinking.
End of the year, I can see that happening. I just can't. He hasn't got the runs on the board yet.
He's a bit of a watch. There's a lot of talk,
I'm with you.
talk
Absolutely.
around him at the moment, and I think he could very well be the F2 driver that jumps in.
Yeah, absolutely. End of season.
Yep,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I can't see it happening. Lindblad would not be going to Haas from race. That would be just a terrible move.
If you look at Solov, you've gone last year. He went 18th position overall with 12 points. He's second in the championship with 106. He's had 4 wins and a podium.
Yep.
So that's kind of pretty all right in F2 sort of world. So anyway. There's definitely a watch there with both of those.
Yeah,
well, I think if Max goes, it's going to be a direct swap because he's going to go to a top team, and I think they've got to get rid of a driver to do it.
For me, I just can't see it happening this year. I
can't either.
I think the Hamilton watch. How long can Hamilton actually go for? I mean, I know he's had a little resurgence, but I mean, there's a Ferrari seat that opens up, and that for me that's the linchpin in everything at the moment. Is once that opens up, if it opens up, then you could see all sorts of moves happening. You might see Oscar go to Ferrari. You might see Max in a Ferrari. It's for me, that's more of the question mark at the moment. I think.
Do you think Max would touch Ferrari?
Yeah, absolutely. If there was ever a man to do the job. It's not like
we've said that the last couple. But Vettel and then we had Hamilton.
Vettel was
almost there.
You wondered about Vettel because that last season with Ricciardo he was off the boil. Hamilton, he has not been Hamilton for the last few years. He's showing some better signs this year.
You're saying getting Max now
Max
at the top of his game.
Absolutely. If I'm Ferrari, I'm bringing Max in, but the question mark now has to go to, is Charles Leclerc the man for the job? It's interesting that it seems like since Lewis has had more of a say over the engineering of the car for this season, and all of a sudden we've seen a downturn for Charles Leclerc. Is he not getting on with that car because it's set up for a Lewis? That's an interesting one. The other big question for Max, though, is can he convince a team to set a car up for himself? He's had a team set the car up to his driving style for the last 5-6 years. Is that what he's going to get when he goes to a new team? Because that's going to be the challenge, isn't it? So, anyway, it's interesting times. It's nice and early for it, and we love it, talking about it nice and early. We're off to Silverstone next week. Love it. Love Silverstone. Love a double header. What's the result going to be?
I can't find it for the life of me. I saw a really interesting fact today about the home driver for the rounds this year. So it was like Oscar was DNF. So it was Oscar was DNF. Then it was Stroll was like lapped 5 times and DNF'd in Canada. And then you had Charles, who like
So
DNF
Stroll had a good result for him.
Yeah, sorry.
That was a good result.
Sorry.
Positive.
That's why I couldn't find. Didn't make sense. And then Fernando was like lapped and lowest, and then DNF or something like that, and it was at home. So maybe we're going to see a George DNF, a Lando DNF, a Lewis DNF, a Behrman DNF, a Lindblad DNF. Are we including Albon in the British drivers?
No, he doesn't.
Maybe.
He's British.
He doesn't. He
doesn't drive
see
under
himself
the
as a
British
flag,
drivers
yep.
and titles question mark. So we could see 6 DNFs and then maybe Oscar wins.
No, good.
So
I
don't know.
I think Max might.
Yeah, geez,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
I can't see the Red Bull being. It wasn't great in the last sector of the Austrian Grand Prix track,
I don't think I
and
could.
it's very similar to Silverstone. For me, Mercedes
I couldn't.
got to be the
I couldn't
favourites.
swallow a George win at home. I really couldn't. Like,
Oh,
I
you
just-
you might have to.
I know. I'm thinking.
But Kimi might be the man. Kimi might be the man.
Kimmy's the man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You
I
can't
really
can't
don't
discount
know at the moment.
Lewis at
Home. Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
He's pretty decent
Collar in the
there.
wet. You know what? I'm going to say Oscar.
Ah.
Just for something different. Just fourth is all right.
It'd be a nice turnaround
He
after last year.
He should have won last
Last
year.
year.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Maybe Oscar. Maybe Lando again. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's go Oscar because I really generally... You could throw a blanket over 6 of them and maybe...
That Mercedes
You
was
get it right.
unbelievable last sector.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
was.
very similar track conditions,
It was.
other than the fact that the tyres are in a different window. So I'm going with a Mercedes driver, and I'm going to pick George because it's his home track.
I'm going to go Kimmy because I think he's still got the edge.
He's got the edge, yep.
And look, McLaren, whilst it was good to see Oscar in fourth, he did lose 20 seconds to Kimi in the last sector of the race. But when they changed tyres, he was only 2 seconds.
Yeah, the
2
Red-
seconds behind, so they've got a lot of catch up to do still.
The Red
Yep.
Bull was really poor on straight line speed as well, so I don't think you could put Max in there either. So.
No,
Yes.
but mind you, it is Max, so
Well,
you
that's
never
true.
really
You never
know.
know, do you? A bit of rain, maybe? I don't know.
I love a double header. We'll be back next week to. Are we going to do another through the day recording? We'll have to see.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
but
Make sure you got
it'd be.
chips.
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll get into it though. We look forward to talking Formula One again after the Silverstone Grand Prix, and goodbye now.